Welcome to another episode of Wrestling Life. As you know, I am the host, BrandonJaneau, and like always on all podcast platforms everywhere, BrandonJaneauShow. Social media platforms, Instagram threads, BrandonJaneau, Facebook, the BrandonJaneau Show, and of course TikTok, BrandonJaneau Show. Go follow me. Oh, and X, Twitter, BJaneau. Go follow me on all those social media platforms. I would appreciate it if you did. Where you can really go is the YouTube channel, man. BrandonJaneau Show YouTube channel, man. Subscribe, comment. I would like if you comment, if you like the vids, like the shorts. I would appreciate it. It helps in the algorithm, helps me find new people. Let's get into it, man. This again, like I said, is Wrestling Life. Whew. Man, oh man, oh man. So wrestling is trying to heat up a little bit here. I see wrestling's trying to give us better than what they did last motherfucking year. Lord have mercy. Jesus Christ. I was so ready to just not watch wrestling ever again. I was almost there, man. I was almost there, man. A lot of things are going on. But this is really what I want to talk about. So here it is, man. Starting off, Raw was not bad. I'm not gonna talk about Raw was not a bad show. I'm a little shocked. That was probably the first time I actually watched Raw in its full capacity last week. Outside of just the Vision shit, I don't like watching the Vision. I refuse to watch the Vision. I just don't care. I like the storyline that they're trying to tell with Braun Breaker, but even in that sense, it's like, yeah, Braun was not going to miss the Royal Rumble, but it would have played better if he did. But I mean, it is what it is. Especially if you're going to probably set up his match at WrestleMania, which probably right now seems and feels to me either Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns. I keep saying this shit. It's going to happen. I think Braun Breaker is going to get another title match against. I think Braun Breaker is going to get another title match against CM Punk in Chicago, and I think he's going to lose due to interference by Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns. I just don't know which one. They're going to probably screw him out of that title match. A lot of things were some shows forwarded, massively forwarded today. I talk about a storyline that is completely changed the narrative, and I don't know what the fuck we're going with this now. Going into the which I've been saying I don't see this happening, but we shall see. But yes. But first thing first, before I get into WWE, I gotta talk about TNA. TNA, I've got something I want to talk about as well, so I'm gonna write this down. Uh, yeah. So TNA started um their official partnership on AMC. They're now officially on AMC. Thursday was the debut of the episode of TNA finally being on a actual network that we can all watch and see and be invested in. And the premiere the premiere of TNA, let me say it like this. I couldn't watch it on AMC the regular way. I have an app. I have a Fire Stick, so I have to, pay for the app and everything, and then I have to get the stuff. So AMC wasn't working Thursday. So I had to go and actually get the AMC Plus app to watch this show. So I paid actual fucking money, technically, for this fucking. Well, I will be paying money to watch TNA when a week comes. So I paid $7 for the TNA for AMC Plus to watch TNA. This is how much I love wrestling, and I fuck with it, and I'll give you a chance. I went and got the AMC Plus app because I was like, I cannot miss this fucking show. It is a big night for TNA. It's a big night for wrestling. If it hits and it makes sense, then we have another show on Thursday we can finally watch, and we would finally have wrestling Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We still will have wrestling Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but we would not take into consideration how much we care about it. if it does not succeed this one night, right? And that's how we all look at it, right? So I get the AMC Plus app. I'm watching this shit. I'm watching it, and I'm just fucking bored. I'm fucking bored. I'm watching this shit, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And here's the thing. Now, let me get some backstory. Hours before the show even came on, you had a report that came out that technically, um, you had a report that came out that technically, a lot of the so-called performers had trouble with their visa and wasn't going to be able to appear on the show. Of course, we know that there've been numerous wrestlers and TNA contracts that have expired and have chosen to go go somewhere else. I should say. I keep trying to say go somewhere else. They have chosen to go somewhere else. Okay, I get that. But even in that sense, this is your debut. This is the moment that makes all of us say TNA is back. And this is what the fuck you gave us. I know that there are real TNA fans out there in this world that really love TNA and fuck with it and been down with it since the dark, and I mean dark days of TNA, and I will never discount y'all love and loyalty to that product and that program and that wrestling company. Respect to you if you have held the fort down and you looking at us like y'all some new motherfuckers, old motherfuckers jumping back in trying to act like you know what the fuck going on. How dare you talk down on TNA when TNA was nothing to y'all and y'all just treated it like it was just fucking deadbeat company. We were the ones that was still sitting here watching this shit day in and day out. And for that alone, when they went to Global America and they were on Access TV and then they were on this and they were on that, we were the ones that were supporting this shit. So we don't want to hear y'all now try to downplay TNA. And 100%, I would tell you, you are 100% right. I cannot tell you that you're wrong. You are 100% right. We are Johnny come latelys. We are Johnny come latelys to the TNA situation. Some of us have been watching TNA because of the NXT shit. Some of us haven't checked in on TNA in some years. Haven't watched TNA in some years. I mean, listen, I get it, totally understand. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, we want the company to succeed, man. And I know y'all don't want to hear this, but I want the company to succeed. Another wrestling company succeeding in wrestling is great for everyone. The prosperity of another wrestling company, the success and prosperity of another wrestling company is great for everyone in wrestling. So I get that there are fans that are TNA representatives and they love TNA to death. I get it. I totally understand. Where I feel like a lot of y'all, and this is the thing about this time period of life that we live in, it is not hatred. It is constructive criticism of a program because we are trying to get engaged and involved into the program just like you are. And I feel like a lot of y'all nowadays don't want to hear it because it feels like it's coming from a hated place. And it's not. I'm a kid that grew up on TNA too. And yes, I haven't checked in on it in a very long time, but I was extremely excited for TNA Thursday. And I wanted to see what it would look like on an actual TV show, on a network now, on an actual network. I wanted to see what it would look like. And the fact that it didn't give us what we needed as wrestling fans. It felt like a lot of segments that was just a little ass backwards. It felt like a lot of shit just didn't make sense. The sound was fucking bad. this is your first impression to a new audience of people that either hasn't watched you in years or just watching you now, that only watched you because of NXT or have been watching you for 20 some years and never really fell off. These are new fans or old fans, new people that fucked with you and new old people that fucked with you. We want to succeed. We want to see you succeed in this wrestling world. But at the end of the day, that show was fucking boring. It was boring. It dragged. It was stupid. It didn't make sense. I get it. Leon Slater was supposed to defend the title against Myron Reed. Myron Reed and the Rascals were already on AEW by the time the fucking show aired. So they were not going to do a fucking deal to have a. And I know people are going to sit there and say, well, Myron Reed was still down to do the show. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Even if he won, even if he lost, really, I should say, even if he lost, it didn't fucking matter. And I blame TNA for this shit because you should have known their contracts were coming up for you to have a fatal four-way between all four of the Rascals to see who fights Leon Slater for the X Division Championship. Just to not even have him under contract when the fucking show aired. Now Leon Slater, of course, was in London, who was one of those guys that had a visa situation and couldn't make it to the show. Now, of course, people are gonna sit there and say, "Well, of course he made it to WWE's show." Hey, man, if you still at home in London, you not gonna work? Like, you not gonna work? And then they had a lot of other things going on, a lot of other shit going on. They had a lot of other shit going on social media. I mean, social media, a lot of mercy. Nah, it really was social media. Social media. There had a lot of shit going on social media when it came to this fucking program, and it feels like a lot of shit was killed before it even got to the airing of the show. And I feel like everybody just wanted to shit on this show, regardless of how it was going to come off. Now, and I don't want to say shit on it because it's not shitting on it when the show just isn't good. I feel like TNA just never got out the box. And this is the first, like I said, this is your first impression to new wrestling fans, old wrestling fans, people that watched you for 20 years, people that's starting to watch you again, people that haven't watched you ever. This is your first impression. And this is how you started off. You have pretty much, I mean, a nothing there show. I mean, there was no action, there was nothing going on. You had three matches, and like the outside of the opening match, did you really give a fuck about the Iconics and oh, the inspiration? I'm sorry, the Iconics is what they were called WWE. The inspiration and the Elegance brand, probably fucking not. You probably didn't care. And then next week, I'm assuming they're gonna have a tag team knockout title match next week because NXT has already announced that they're gonna have a tag team from NXT go to TNA and fight for the women's knockout tag team titles. So that's a boost, I guess, a little bit in your ratings from the NXT standpoint. But if you don't watch NXT, so who gives a fuck? You had AJ Styles open the show up, which was great. But again, people again that's also sitting there saying, man, I can't believe AJ Styles, he didn't even wrestle on the show. Which brings me to later on when I'm gonna talk about what AJ Styles situation is right now. But TNA is in this situation where, like I said about a lot of this wrestling shit right now, a lot of the wrestling shit right now is one foot in, one foot out. They can't figure out what the fuck the direction is because they got one foot in, one foot out. And when you have a one foot in, one foot out mentality, it's going to be a lot of I don't know what the fuck is going on situations. So at the end of the day, TNA could have did this so much better. They could have, but it happened the way it happened, and I can't get mad because it happened the way it happened. A lot of shit went down, a lot of things happened, but hopefully they fix this shit. Speaking of AJ Styles, today Monday Night Raw just went off, and a match was announced today that was very interesting, to say the least. and that is that AJ Styles is going to fight Gunther again. Now, last week it was an incredible matchup between those two men. Incredible matchup between those two men. And AJ Styles is going to get his rematch if only he puts his career on the line, which he has. AJ Styles' career is on the line versus Gunther at the Royal Rumble. I don't know how to feel about this. I have no idea how to feel about this. I am one of the rare few people that have said AJ Styles' career is going to probably end at WrestleMania. I think they're trying to prepare us for that, but I don't think they end his career in 2 weeks. That's very fucking stupid. I think that would be very dumb. But also, I just realized this. I just realized this shit. His contract does come up in February. So it is a bit of a dilemma because I just realized that shit. His contract comes up in February. Damn, his contract comes up in February. I just realized that shit. I remember him saying that his contract comes up in February. So this could be his last match. I don't know if he signed an extension. I have no idea if he signed an extension till WrestleMania. But it's a story to be told. It's a very interesting story to be told. I don't. Oh shit! I don't know, man. Because if and then I'm sitting from the perspective of what the fuck does Gunther do at WrestleMania? Because I don't. And again, like I said, if it's not Roman Reigns and Braun Breaker, I think Roman's going to fight Brock at WrestleMania. I just don't see a match where it doesn't make sense for Roman to be in right now. Roman and Drew does not make sense. As much as people want to sit there and say it does, it doesn't make fucking sense. What the fuck is the sense? Where is it? Roman's barely on fucking TV, and you're gonna give him a Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber just to give it to him? That's very fucking stupid. Like that's dumb as fuck. It doesn't make sense. And you basically just fucked over your whole storyline for 2 fucking years. The Bloodline storyline was supposed to end at WrestleMania 40, and you still are holding on for this fucking storyline. And I'm not even about to get on Jay ass. That shit was so fucking. Jay did a whole fucking moment of coming out yeeting and announcing that he's in the Royal Rumble. Who gives a fuck that you're in the Royal Rumble, bro? Who cares? But if AJ Styles and Gunther are not the WrestleMania match, I don't know what the fuck you do with Gunther. I have no clue what you do with Gunther. Chris Jericho is supposed to be back. Is Chris Jericho his pathway WrestleMania? Is that the fucking plan, bro? Is AJ gonna be? Because I don't think Chris Jericho is gonna get a long, drawn out like retirement. I don't see it. Like, what matches does Chris Jericho need to have in WWE that he hasn't had before? Is what I'm trying to figure out. What the fuck Chris Jericho needs to? Who does Chris Jericho need to wrestle in WWE? LA Knight, yeah, yeah, but LA Knight, I guess, yeah, that makes sense. LA Knight, Dom, you give him Dom, and that's about fucking it. Like, that's not really that many more people you can give Chris Jericho. And is that the path? Is that the path? Is that what we setting up to? Chris Jericho comes back at the Royal Rumble. Gunther and him are set up for WrestleMania. Gunther beats Chris Jericho at WrestleMania and retires Chris Jericho. Is that the play? Is that the play? AJ retires at Royal Rumble. Chris Jericho retires at WrestleMania. Brock retires at SummerSlam. Is that the play? Is that the play? I'm assuming that's the play because at this moment I don't see why you would have AJ Styles' career be on the line at the Royal Rumble. Like it doesn't make sense. It does and it doesn't. Like it does because AJ Styles' career started a decade ago at the Royal. Well, I don't say his career started. His WWE career started a decade ago at the Royal Rumble. Excuse me. So it does make sense to end his career at the Royal Rumble 10 years to the day that his career ended at the Royal Rumble. The problem with that is you're not going to give AJ a WrestleMania match. That's where I'm having a problem with it because I don't see how AJ. I know people are going to sit there and say, well, AJ's not going to lose. AJ's going to beat Gunther. He's going to keep his career. But then you're going to have to do this match all over again at WrestleMania. And that's what I'm not understanding. Like, even if you do, I'm be honest, I don't think it ends with AJ winning. I think it ends with AJ winning, but I don't think it wins with AJ winning the way we think AJ's going to win. I don't think AJ's going to pin or submit Gunther. I think AJ is going to win by disqualification. I think something's going to happen where Gunther is going to get frustrated and he's going to physically hurt. He's going to do something to get AJ the fuck up out of here. And he's going to get eliminated. He's going to get disqualified. That's what I think. I think he's going to get disqualified. Because I don't see the point of having this match at the Royal Rumble. Like, I don't see it. I don't understand why you would have this match at the Royal Rumble when WrestleMania is right the fuck there. I don't understand it. Maybe this is just to make sure that AJ does sign an extension so they could do it at WrestleMania. Because again, like I said, people don't understand. AJ's contract comes up in February. And we don't know when in February, but we do know it's in February. They could pull a Mick Foley, where Mick Foley retired at No Way Out. Technically, he retired at No Way Out. But he came back to wrestle at WrestleMania for one last match. So technically, he could do it. But then I asked the question of who the fuck will he wrestle at WrestleMania if it's not Gunther? Because he doesn't have anybody else to wrestle at WrestleMania if it's not Gunther. So it doesn't. This is why I say yes. I like the story. I would have preferred that both of them ended up in the Royal Rumble. AJ eliminated Gunther. Gunther came back and got his fucking. Gunther came back and got his revenge by taking AJ out the night after the Royal Rumble. And that's how you set up the WrestleMania match. Gunther goes into the Elimination Chamber. AJ comes out and fucks him in the Elimination Chamber. That's how you lead this into WrestleMania. I don't know if this makes logical sense. This is why I'm saying the story is a good story. The problem is where the problem is what it is right now. I love the fact that Gunther and AJ are going to wrestle again. I just don't understand why you're making it a career match at the fucking Royal Rumble. like again, like I said, like yes, AJ started his career in WWE 10 years ago to the day where Royal Rumble will be, right? Royal Rumble is. The Royal Rumble event is where AJ Styles became a WWE superstar. We know that. Where the problem lies is that you're telling me that AJ Styles is not going to have a WrestleMania match? That's where the fuck I'm having a problem. Because I'm just like, I don't see how that makes sense. I don't see how that makes sense. A lot of people on social media is like, oh, well, AJ's going to win the match against Gunther, and then we're going to. I don't think he is. That's the problem. Because you don't do a match like this just to then do 2 months later another career match. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to have another career match. Like people think that like, oh, Shawn and Undertaker. Oh yeah, that's gonna be like Shawn and Undertaker. But Shawn and Undertaker was a year build. Like it was a fucking year-long build. I don't understand how you have a match for a career. AJ kind of wins it, keeps his career, just to then say in 2 months, or in this case, 3 months, 3 months his career will be over. Like it doesn't make sense to do this match and then turn around and do the match again. That's why I think Gunther is going to beat AJ. Or it just ends in disqualification, which that'd be stupid. And it could end in disqualification. I think it will end in disqualification. Which could lead to the last match, which will be WrestleMania, and which will be Gunther will eliminate and will beat AJ Styles by tapping him out. That makes sense if that's the case. I get it. I like the story. I like the story they're trying to tell, but you put your career on the line immediately storyline. Like I would prefer a build. I would prefer an actual real build. I would prefer an actual genuine story. I would prefer an actual real situation. I feel like I would have preferred Gunther and AJ both being in the Royal Rumble. Gunther is saying, I want to be champion again. I'm looking to be champion again. And instead of that be a storyline, what the fuck do? You just jump the line and say, okay, let's just put the career on the line right now. Why? I don't understand, because again, you got people that sitting there saying that AJ's gonna wrestle at TNA at some point. Right? Like AJ's gonna wrestle in TNA for some point. Well, if his career's on the line, why the fuck would he then go to TNA and wrestle? It doesn't make sense. And again, like I said, I don't think AJ's gonna pin or submit Gunther, because you want to keep Gunther looking strong. So I don't see him pinning or submitting Gunther. I know people are gonna sit there and say, well, if you lose to AJ Styles, it's like you lost to AJ Styles. It's not like you lost to fucking, Jey Uso or some crazy shit like that. You lost to AJ Styles. Yeah, but at the same time, just to then turn around 3 months later and then have him beat AJ at WrestleMania and end his career there. I don't understand that. I just don't understand the whole work. Like I said, they have so many scenarios that they can do it. AJ could win by disqualification. It could just all end in disqualification, double count out. It could be just turned into a fucking battle between the two, which leads to WrestleMania, where it's just a straight out street fight or no disqualification match between the two. And AJ's career's on the line. Like, it could be a lot of things. I just feel like the immediate go to the career mode match is just, I think you ran out of fucking ideas. I I truly believe that they ran out of fucking ideas. I didn't run out of ideas. I think they ran out of ideas. I get that. And again, like I said, maybe they're saving themselves from having to deal with AJ Styles' contract situation. But I just don't see the point of doing a career match. I don't see the point of doing a career match. I just don't see it. It's gonna be great. I just don't know. I just don't know, man. So the Royal Rumble. It's finally shaping up, right? Cody Rhodes officially announced Friday that he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. Then you turn around and then you have not just Cody Rhodes now. There's multiple people saying, I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble. Gunther was in the Royal Rumble and then rescinded it. I don't know why the fuck you would do it. Again, it goes into maybe him and Chris Jericho, maybe him and Chris Jericho having a match. That's how you set up him and Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. I'm assuming that's how you set up him and Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. But yeah, I'm trying to figure that part out. I'm really trying to figure that part out. I don't know about that, but Gunther rescinded the situation that he's not going to be in a Royal Rumble. Okay, cool. That makes sense. But I'm trying to figure this part out. Like I'm really trying to figure this part out. Anyway, Cody Rhodes has officially announced that he's in a Royal Rumble. Jey Uso has announced that he's in a Royal Rumble. I'm assuming next week Braun Breaker, if he's reinstated, he will be in the Royal Rumble with the Vision. I can see Friday Jacob Fatu saying he's in the Royal Rumble. I don't know if he said it this past Friday. I wasn't really listening. Um, you got a fatal four way, so before the Royal Rumble. So whoever loses that fatal four way on Saturday Night Main Event, they're pretty much all three of them are going to be in the Royal Rumble. Uh, I'm assuming Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar are going to be both in the Royal Rumble as surprise entrants. Chris Jericho, uh, Obafemi, uh, Joe Hendry, Ethan Page, Ricky Saints. I can see a lot of people being in the Royal Rumble from NXT. I can see some TNA talent. I can see Mike Santana. I can see Leon Slater. I can see Vinkingo. Chad Gable might be coming back in the Royal Rumble, which I would not be surprised by. Um, there are a lot of people that will probably go to be in the Royal Rumble. I just don't know who, what, or when and where. Now the women's field feels a little bit more like, okay, there's a direction. Liv, Raquel, Roxanne, Rhea, Io, Asuka have all declared for the Royal Rumble. Kairi Sane as well, because she technically said, I'm going to help you win the Royal Rumble. So what is that? 7 women? 7 women. That's 7 women. I'm assuming SmackDown, we're going to get Chelsea Green, Jordan Grace, Nia, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, Charlotte, Alexa, Julia, Kiana James. Like all of the women that's technically going to be there. Tiffany Stratton, of course, is going to probably return to the Royal Rumble. I have no idea what they're going to do with Bianca. I'm be honest with you. I don't know what the fuck you do if Bianca is not healthy and not ready to return to the Royal Rumble. I don't know what you do with Jay Cargill. I don't know what you do with Jay Cargill. I'm starting to run into the dilemma of I don't know what you do with her. You can't put the belt back on Tiffany. Are you ready to put the belt on Jordan Grace? I wouldn't mind it, but it would be at this moment very stupid to do it. She just got there. Maybe Chelsea Green, but even in that sense, if you get the belt to Chelsea Green, she's not a formidable. And I don't say it like that. That's very disrespectful. How can I say this? I was about to say she's not a formidable threat because I feel like her character, she can wrestle. That's not the problem. But her character isn't. Her character is like the chicken shit heel, and I don't mean that in the sense of like her character is a chicken shit heel. Like she's avoiding conflict. That's her character. So it's hard for me to care about her character when her character is being a chicken shit heel. So even if you give her the belt, which you can do, it's your company, do your thing. Even if you give her the belt at this moment, and I know people are gonna love it, but it's like, do you love it because she's the champion, or do you love it because you love her? There is a difference. You could love a person and not want them to be the champion. I fuck with Chelsea Green. I don't want to be WWE champion. I don't want her to be WWE Women's Champion. It'd be fucking. And I fuck with Chelsea. And a couple years ago, a year or two ago, maybe I was really like, yeah, Chelsea Green, she should definitely be the champion. But they haven't done shit with her character to make me feel like it makes sense for her to win. Like it's the same shit. It's just a comedy act, and that's great. And she can wrestle. Don't get it twisted. Like Chelsea can fucking wrestle. But you've not done anything with her character development that makes me feel like, oh yeah, if she wins the belt, this is what we're gonna get. It's like, no, she's gonna be champion for 60 fucking days with no defenses. She's gonna be champion for 60 fucking days with no defenses. And you're just gonna be sitting there like, yeah, she's great, but she hasn't defended the belt, and this title reign kind of just feels like a fucking drag, and there's nothing going on. That's why I don't like having people with titles that you like the character, you don't like them. Bro, you realize for months, for like the last couple of weeks, they haven't had Dominic Mysterio hasn't been on TV because he's injured. You don't even hear them talk about the Intercontinental Championship. There's not a new contender. There's not anyone asking about the belt. Nothing. Like nobody's asking about the fucking Intercontinental Championship. This is your prize. This is your second most prized championship in your company. I know the word every time. This is the second most prized possession in a company. Dom has not been on TV in 3 fucking weeks, and nobody said shit about that belt. No worthy opponents, no nothing. Nobody's asked to strip the motherfucker of the belt. Nothing. Nothing. It's just ridiculous. Like I don't understand how this shit works because I'm watching Carmelo Hayes out here every fucking week bust his ass, giving us great matches, and yet Dom is just champion, and we don't even explain that. Hey man, he's been champion for fucking 3 weeks. He's just not been on TV, And there's no worthy competitors. Like, there's no worthy challengers. Nobody's asking for the belt. Nobody's asking, like, man, can we get the fucking Intercontinental Champion? Nothing. Nothing. It's like, what the fuck are we doing, bro? I don't understand this shit. Like I've been saying, it's clear as day what they're gonna do at WrestleMania when Dom does come back, which I think he's gonna be in the Royal Rumble. It's clear as day what they're gonna do at WrestleMania, and that is that Finn Balor's gonna turn face, and it's gonna be Dom versus Finn for the Intercontinental Championship, and Finn's gonna get he's gonna get the Intercontinental Championship from Dom. And I know today people on social media definitely was probably crying because Finn lost to CM Punk and they love Finn on social media. Yeah, nigga, y'all love Finn on social fucking media. Nigga, y'all don't fuck with that man in real life. Get the fuck out of here. Finn is gonna beat Dom at WrestleMania a year to the day when Dom pinned Finn to get the Intercontinental Championship. He's gonna pin. He's gonna pin. He's gonna beat Dom at WrestleMania, take the Intercontinental Championship. Finn's gonna leave Judgment Day as the face and the new Intercontinental Champion. This is flat out what the fuck is about to happen. Watch what happens. As Liv Morgan would say, watch me. Watch this shit. I'm telling you what's gonna happen. Finn is going to turn face. It's not gonna be Dom. Dom cannot be a good face. And people keep thinking, oh, he's gonna turn face. He can't be a face, bro. Brian Breaker, Dominic Mysterio, they cannot work as faces. They don't work as faces. You tried and it failed. It does not work. This is why Trick Williams is getting the fuck over, because what he is a natural fucking heel. We gotta stop trying to make people faces and heels off of some goofy shit. Cody Rhodes can be a fucking heel if he needs to, because it would actually work. Certain people do not need to turn face just because the crowd is reacting to them. That don't make a lick of fucking sense. The crowd react to bad guys. Who the fuck didn't know that? Dom and Finn are going to be the WrestleMania match. Because I thought it'd be Sheamus, but I don't know how long Sheamus is going to actually physically be out. So I think it's going to be Dom and Finn. I think it's going to be Dom and Finn at WrestleMania. I truly believe it's going to be Dom and Finn at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. That's the match. Now, that sounds crazy, but that's going to be the match. And Finn's going to leave Judgment Day as the Intercontinental Champion and a face Intercontinental Champion. But this Royal Rumble, I mean, I guess it took too long to actually, yes. Has it been too long to announce the participants of the Royal Rumble? Yes, it has. It has been extremely too long. But at the end of the day, I'd rather this way than to have the Royal Rumble, than to have you have participants be announced 3, 4, 5 weeks late early just to find out that, like, bro, they're not winning that shit. They not winning that shit. And by the way, they've always had late Royal Rumble participants. I think people are getting this confused. Like, oh no, they've always had late Royal Rumble participants. There's always been like 3 weeks or 2 weeks before the show. Like, so I'm not that surprised by it. And you also have to think how many people, how many people are gonna want to go to Saudi Arabia? That's WWE, is their job, so of course but some people might not want to go. Might not want to go. Before I get to the last thing, I want to talk about this. Free agents. So I talked about this earlier with TNA. The Rascals are officially in AEW. They are officially signed to AEW. All 4 members of the Rascals are part of AEW. Congratulations to those men. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to all of the men that are now officially signed to AEW. Ooh. I am happy for them. 4 incredible standout talents that will be definitely used to their highest potential in AEW. With that being said, I don't trust the fucking booking in AEW. I don't trust them at all. I don't trust how AEW is going to manage them, use them, and particularly put them in the right places to be used properly. I like the Rascals. I fuck with the Rascals. I like MSK. I like everything about the Rascals, right? But I feel like you basically just signed you just signed 4 versions of Ricochet. You just signed 4 different variants of Ricochet. Will Ospreay, Speedball Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight. That's all you did. You signed 4 of the same fucking wrestlers. Now they're gonna fit in AEW because that's the type of pace and style that AEW wrestles with. But this is why I feel like this isn't a good idea. I don't think this is a good idea for AEW because I feel like you just paid 4 wrestlers, 4 variants of the shit you already have on your roster to come in and do exactly what the fuck they've been doing their whole careers. Listen, man, they got a trios titles, they got the tag team titles. You could do something with Desmond, aka Wes Lee. You could do something. You could do something with it. You can figure it out. But at the same time, I I just don't think this is a good idea. I think this is not going to end well. And I think that here's the thing. You did exactly what you probably wanted to do, which was deplete TNA of talent, bleed them of talent before their premiere. It doesn't just hurt TNA, but it hurts WWE because they need TNA to succeed. So now you have a situation and a bit of a problem with the situation, right? Now, where the problem lies is that I think you signing these dudes again, like I said, it's like you signing the same fucking wrestler 4 times over. And we're gonna see. We're gonna see if you let them be them. That's the one thing about the Rascals. If they can be themselves in TNA, I mean in AEW, they will get over. Organically, by the way. It's just the booking. I don't like the booking of AEW. I don't like the booking of wrestling right now. Fucking booking of wrestling is just fucking god awful. But yeah. Where the problem now, there's another signing that has been making the rounds, and that is Powerhouse Hobbs, who was formerly of AEW and is now reportedly going to be in WWE. No word on when he has signed or when he may be coming into the business or when he'll be coming into WWE. No word if he's actually even signed fully. But it seems that it is happening. Powerhouse Hobbs. See, I know people are gonna think I'm trying to shit on AEW and praise WWE, but WWE actually knows how to make a star, and they know how to make a Powerhouse Hobbs look like a fucking star. Look at Obafemi. Hell, look at old dude that just came on. Uh, what Keanu Caven, Keanu Caven, who popped up on NXT and just took the fucking entire, just took everybody the fuck out. They know how to make big guys like that look like fucking big guys. And like I said, the Rascals look great. But when you have a fucking kind of fucking locker room full of what the Rascals do, it kind of goes against it kind of will hurt the nature. Not saying it won't succeed, it's just what are you really gonna do with them when they finally get their opportunities? Because at the end of the day, it's all about opportunities. It's not about if you like the motherfucker. If they get the opportunity and it doesn't work out, then what you gonna do with them? Because you paid them for 3, 4, 5 years, and that's just facts. Where I think Powerhouse Hobbs will be better in WWE is that if Powerhouse Hobbs goes in there and kind of has that same energy as an Obafemi, because Obafemi's looked dominant his entire career. Like from the moment I saw this dude in the NXT Breakout Stars Challenge, the dude looked like a fucking million fucking dollars. He just had to grow into it. He had to get better at it. Like I've said about Obafemi, he has actually transformed into an actual good fucking wrestler. He's not like a lot of big guys that don't know how to fucking sell. He can sell. Like he can sell his ass off, which is rare. You don't have a big guy that can sell. Look at Bronson Reed. Look at Braun Strowman. Look at certain people. They can't fucking sell. The reason why you love Brock Lesnar so much isn't because of just his athletic ability. It's his ability to sell. When he fucks with you, boy, Brock Lesnar can sell his ass off. And that's kind of how Oba is. Oba sells his ass off. Like you can watch his matches and be like, damn, he's selling. That is how you make a star too. Powerhouse Hobbs, if he comes in with the I'm going to let them teach me what I need to learn shit and not be like, I already know what I know. No. He will be perfect in WWE. Because no matter what we believe, WWE knows how to fucking make a big guy a big guy. And that is the fucking thing. His power, his athleticism, if he could stay healthy, it would be perfect for him. And I think that would fit. And also, and this is why I think him going to the main roster wouldn't really make a lot of sense at first. I think if he goes to NXT and he teams up with Ricky Saints, now we're having a conversation. Now we're having a goddamn conversation. Or better yet, takes out Ricky Saints. Now we're having a conversation. Before I also get into this, Javon Evans has also got hurt today. He got hurt on Monday Night Raw. Shoulder, it looks like a shoulder injury. They are, man, Dominic Mysterio, who has a shoulder injury. Chad Gable, who's been out with a shoulder injury. Seth Rollins, who has a shoulder injury. Some other people, I forgot some other people. Sheamus, who's out with a shoulder injury. These shoulder injuries, man, I don't know what. It was knees for years, and now it's the shoulder. Like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like, man, Javon, that shit hurt. It was, God. Came back from commercial break, and he was hurt. I was like, get the fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here, man. But yeah, man. WrestleMania. Now, there's a rumor that WrestleMania plans have been completely and utterly changed because of, you know, Drew McIntyre winning the WWE Championship. And like I've been saying, that is good. I never believed, well, I'm not going to say I never believed. I didn't want to believe that Triple H was this fucking stupid that he thinks by putting Cody and Roman back in the ring together because you just fucking ran out of fucking ideas. You think that's a good fucking idea. Like you physically sat there and said, that's a good idea. No, the fuck it's not. Who the fuck told you that? That's a stupid fucking idea. Cody and Roman should not be wrestling each other anytime fucking soon. I don't want to see that shit. I done saw it for 2 WrestleManias. Good fuck that. Incredible, excellent storytelling does not need to be told again. with no reason, no rhyme and reason. There's no rhyme and reason for Cody and Roman Reigns to have a match. No reason. Oh, well, Brandon, they said at War Games that they would never team up again. And what the fuck they got to do with a fucking matchup? Okay, nigga, just don't team up again. Who gives a fuck? You care? Cause I don't. I don't give a fuck about that shit. That's stupid. Anyway, Drew winning the WWE Championship, I hope and pray, woke the creative up. I don't like the matches they also are predicting, and I don't believe Dave Meltzer at all. Yes, even a broken clock is right once or twice a day. But I don't believe that WWE is sitting there thinking to themselves, Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes, or Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu. What about Randy Orton? What about Sami Zayn? We just Ilya Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams. There are other people we could throw into this scenario. If we just throwing random ass people into matches. I don't like this match. I think it's stupid. I think giving Cody Rhodes the Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber is basically saying you've ran out of ideas. You don't know what the fuck to do. There is a story to be told with Cody Rhodes that has nothing to do with the WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes' story can be very simple. His redemption or his arc on turning into the guy that y'all want him to be, which is a heel, right? He has a perfectly good story right there. You don't have to continuously push this narrative that he's the good guy. And I said last week, I don't think Cody needs to turn heel, but he can have heel tactics. He can have heel tendencies. But you don't need to give Cody the title anytime soon. I don't think WWE has formally thought this through. You're starting to run the risk of Cody Rhodes becoming John Cena. And I don't mean that in a good way. Like, there was a time period where people did not want to see John Cena as a champion. It got fucking exhausting. It got tiring. You're trying to tell a story, and the fact of the matter is, by you sitting there saying, we don't know what the fuck to do, let's just get about the Cody Rhodes again. What? Now, I love Jacob Fatu, but I think Jacob Fatu being off for that fucking long makes no sense to give him the title when we don't know who the fuck took him out in the first place. Until you tell me who the fuck took him out, I don't want him to be a champion. Like, it doesn't make sense. Why? Why? The story is Sammy and Drew. It is the simplest story. It is the easiest story. It's a fucking underdog story. And I know y'all don't like underdog stories, but it's the best ones to tell, especially in fucking wrestling. It is the best one to tell. It is what, David versus Goliath. It's always going to get something. It's always going to get an attraction. It's always going to get people to care. It's just facts, bro. And at the end of the day, putting Cody and Drew in the title match again is basically you saying you ran out of ideas. You putting Drew and Cody and Jacob in a title match and here's the thing: if you put Cody, Drew, and Jacob in a triple threat match for the WWE Championship, Jacob Fatu better walk the fuck out as champion. I don't want to see Drew. I don't want to see Cody. If it's not Jacob Fatu, you wasted this whole fucking match, and it doesn't make sense. If Jacob Fatu is going to be in a triple threat match at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship, and he don't walk out as champion, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? No. Jacob Fatu better be champion. If that is how you moving, Jacob better walk out as champion at WrestleMania. He better. I don't want to. And people that's gonna say that, well, what about Roman? What about Roman? Roman and Drew don't make sense to have a fucking title match. Why are y'all pushing this narrative that Roman needs the belt? You motherfuckers are getting this shit is getting fucking exhausting to hear y'all continuously sit here and tell me how you want Roman to be champion again without telling me what the fuck is his story. What is his story? What is it? Because the bloodline is gone. That is dead. So what is his story? He never had to deal with actual loss. What has Roman lost? Oh, Brandon, he lost his family. Really? He lost his family? Because last time I checked, the Usos are still at his beck and call whenever the fuck he asked them to. What family he lost? Oh, Brandon, he lost the wise man. He took Paul Heyman out before. He didn't give a fuck about Paul Heyman like that. The fuck are you talking about? What has Roman actually fucking lost? What is his downfall? He has not had a downfall. And yet y'all sitting there trying to tell me he needs to be champion again. For fucking what reason? He's always on top. What the fuck does he need to be champion for? Roman has surpassed being just a champion now. There's no story with Roman. And y'all don't want to admit that shit. There's no story there. Even if he wins the belt, he has no story. You're never going to get that era of that feeling again. It's gone. It's done. It's dead. It's finished. You're never going to get that again. So what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, Brandon, what a roster comeback. You want to see damn near a 60-year-old man wrestle for the WWE Championship? You want to see a damn near 60-year-old man wrestle for the WWE Championship. And y'all want new. Y'all want fresh. But The Rock is what y'all... The IWC, ladies and gentlemen. The IWC. Because this is the argument. Every fucking time. Oh, man, they should just get about the back to Roman and put the bloodline back together. You told a story for 4.5 years, then in 5 years, about how all of these people have become individuals and started to believe in themselves. And now you turn it into, let's make them back into basically bitches for Roman Reigns. Basically, let's just sacrifice all the shit we did with them just to put them right back in the same situation we had 5 fucking years ago. 6 fucking years ago. Because we don't know what the fuck to do. And that is the fans of wrestling. Because you don't know what else to do. Let's just go to nostalgia. But yeah, last time I checked, you hated nostalgia. You didn't like these old motherfuckers coming in, taking the fucking credit, taking people's spots. But now you want fucking nostalgia because you want wrong. IWC, man. Fuck am I talking about? Anyway, I'm debating if I'm going to do Saturday Night Main Event. I have no idea. I don't know if I'm going to do a preview show. I know I got to do one Raven View show for Saturday Night Main Event Saturday. The card looks pretty good. It looks decent. I might do one. I don't know. I got to go look at it. They probably add another match on the card. There's only 3 matches. So I got to add a third one. I don't know what the third one would probably be. Maybe you give Carmelo Hayes that look and let him do an open challenge on the Saturday Night Main Event, which I would not be mad at it. I think that should be a great idea if he actually did it on the Saturday Night Main Event and have it be somebody that nobody's thinking of, especially in Toronto. You could do a Toronto Saturday Night Main Event like a surprise. Oh, it's gonna be in Montreal. I'm tripping. It's gonna be in Montreal. So even if Montreal. So you could have somebody not of the company, Ethan Page. Ethan Page. Let's say Ethan Page loses tomorrow on NXT. He drops the belt. That is the proper introduction to Ethan Page. Now, I don't know if Ethan Page beats Carmelo Hayes. Now, that's where the fuck the problem lies. But that's WWE's booking, not mine. But that would be a perfect person to debut against Carmelo Hayes. In Montreal, Canada. He's from Toronto, but he's from Canada. I think Ethan Page would be the perfect person to debut against Carmelo Hayes. Again, I don't know if he beats him. It's a whole nother conversation. But I can see it. I can see it. I see the page debuting against Kamala Hayes in Montreal. Especially if he drops the belt to do tomorrow. Why not? Why the fuck not? But that's it. That's all. Yeah. If you guys enjoyed this episode, I am Brandon Janeau. This is Wrestling Life. Peace.